Stars in 21, premiering tonight. His character, Mickey Rosa, was actually based on the real story of Johnny Chang. Now, John played with MIT's infamous blackjack team and stayed on to lead the group for another 15 years. Today, he lives in Las Vegas. He still hits the casinos on occasion, which is why John looks the way he does now. He's wearing a bit of a disguise here, so that's okay. Well, that's a very, very nice disguise. John, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you.
Now, are you getting any cut of this movie? Because everyone says you're the guy that Spacey's character is built on.
No, they never consulted me. But, you know, we had lots of teammates who had all the stories, and so they were able to piece it together. Of course, the movie is quite inaccurate, but it's still an entertaining film.
Okay, we won't go into the inaccuracies in the movie, but the gist is that card counters are generally not really liked by casinos, and you've had run-ins with casinos who wondered why you were quite legally ripping them off, right?
Well, ripping them off is a little bit strong, I think. I mean, it would be like saying somebody who went into a buffet and ate too much food would be ripping off the restaurant.
How did you know I had done that? John, so explain how you obviously, you're MIT grad, right?
Sure.
And you obviously have this skill. It's a gift, actually. And so tell me what you've been doing for the last 15 years.
Well, it's not really a gift per se. You know, most anybody could learn to do this, but it's not something that you can pick up by reading a book on the plane ride to Las Vegas. You know, you need to practice a bit. But the amount of time involved is, you know, maybe 20 hours, something like that, to get good enough to break even with the house. And if you really want to get deeply involved into it, it might be 100 hours of effort. But, you know, consider how much time you might put into getting any kind of degree. It pales in comparison.
All right, so how are casinos on to you, John? What triggers their, at least, curiosity? And then I think it's happened a couple of times to you, they have a little conversation with you.
Right. Well, there are various characteristics of card counters. There's a social aspect. If you just look at a place, you know, if you're very young and you're betting a lot of money, it automatically looks funny. But you know, the things that they look for are big bet variation, strategy, you know, variations that are common for card counters.
Well, what got him talking to you? What got him talking to you?
Well, you know, it's one of these things. Once you're well known, they don't even have to look at your play. They just look at your face.
But they don't know your face, right? You try to keep a disguise?
No. In fact, surveillance knows me pretty well. It's the reason why I'm wearing the disguise is not to hide from the casino, because they already know me. It's to hide from the general public. Should I sit down at the table, I really don't want people to be pointing me out to the pit.
Understood. Now, when you walk into a casino, though, do they, now knowing you, try to walk you out?
Well, if I become noticed by them, yeah, they'll probably ask me to leave. But, you know, if I don't bet too much, if I'm not really...
Do they have that right, though, John? There's nothing illegal about what you do. I mean, there's nothing...
That's right. That's right.
Can they even
in fact,
do that?
it's... in Nevada, it's been established that the casinos can ask you to leave, but they take it beyond that. You know, just last week, my wife, who plays also, was arrested in Caesar's Palace, and she had been invited there.
Why was she arrested?
And they brought it for lying to a policeman, and you know, this is a completely false charge. She gave the officer her married name, and then, you know, her license is in her maiden name. You know, the lawyer who represents us showed up even before the officer took her downtown, explained this to him, and he just refused to even listen.
Man, oh man.
So we have a nice case, I think.
The risk of being a genius. John, thank you very much. We'll see how the movie goes. I want to get you back to see what you make of it and how well it does. But John Chang, thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you.
Good night.